no, I'm not ready. I need to do more reading. But actually, it stems from challenging ourselves and exposing ourselves to new experiences.
Absolutely. We want security. We want, and there is nothing wrong with that. Not everybody is fit to be an entrepreneur. But when it comes, we're thinking about the future. If you have kids, if you have something, you have career plan and stuff, so you start worrying. I learned recently that our body listens to us. Can you imagine? Every cell in our body is listening to us. So how do we see ourselves? And what's the internal dialogue? What are we telling ourselves? Are we telling ourselves we are not enough?
Otherwise, if the world is cruel and we are cruel toward ourselves, how are we going to proceed in doing things?
You see, the best learning happened when we failed.
Yeah.
Really, you learn the best way when you fail and you become stronger.
Most people think confidence comes after readiness, but confidence often comes from choosing to show up before you feel ready and surviving it. In episode 3, confidence is permission. It's not about quiet decision to stop waiting for approval or feel ready. It's about showing up anyway. Today, I am joined by someone who truly brings energy into a room, simply by showing up fully. Hamza Taqi, the Chief Excitement Officer, speaker, and a team coach with over a decade of experience in learning and development. He is truly a person who brings confidence that actually reciprocate on the person sitting with him in the room. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Engineer Mariam, for having me. Pleasure.
Thank you so much. Before we start, I would like to invite you to take a deep breath together. I'll count to 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. All right, let's begin. Let's start somewhere personal. I want you to take me back in time. When you think back to earlier moments in your life or career, was there a time when you felt like you were waiting for the right moment to step forward, to present yourself?
Oh yeah, always, all the time. I mean, even in school and but one thing that happened during when I was a Boy Scouts, we learned how to take initiative and how to become leaders somehow, and being always ready for anything. And I think this is somehow, affected my personality, I believe. Yeah.
That is excellent, actually. Yeah. And slightly before that moment, if you think about moments where you actually were waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, I was waiting to graduate. I was waiting to get a job. I was waiting to be recognized. And I think one should not be waiting. One should take the initiative. At the end of the day, this is our life. And we get to co-create our life with God. That's how, after so many trial and error, I came to that conclusion that we should start and we should, even, what you said in the beginning, I liked it. It's really beautifully said. Because, see, sometimes even you want to write something or you want to do some work, and what happens to you, you say, oh, I'm not in a good mood. Maybe after I take my coffee, or maybe after I exercise. And all of this is our mind, using this. And it's not us. So once you first take the first step and you start working on whatever task that you're working on or a project, then the motivation comes and then you start on the roll rather than waiting when my mood becomes better. No, you take the first step, and somehow God gives you that motivation, and you become motivated and confident to pursue and work on your goal or your task.
This really lands. I truly agree with you. Sometimes we question ourselves, our capabilities, and we say like, no, I'm not ready. I need to do more reading. But actually it stems from challenging ourselves and exposing ourselves to new experiences.
Absolutely, absolutely. Showing up, as you say.
Showing up.
Yeah.
So I'm greedy here. Tell me, was there a time where you actually surprised yourself? It's a moment where you discovered that you don't need to be ready. You showed up anyway.
Yeah, many moments like this. But I think the first one was
That turning point.
I was in like year 2, and I received a call. I was in a sales team, and I received a call from the training manager. And he asked me, Hamza, I want you to do a session, induction, for the induction group, induction course on credit card.
Okay.
And I said, why me? And he said, no, I think you are, suit
that topic.
Yeah. So, and I was in the credit card, I was selling credit card and so on. So I made the session. And then after a few days, I received a letter. Back then, there was no email. So a physical, letter and signed by him. And that, taught me that, if you take the first step, you take the initiative, God somehow will help you do everything. And we have a verse in the Quran when Mother Maryam, when God asked her literally to shake the palm tree.
Yes.
If all of us here in this team, if we really shake a palm tree, it's not going to move. Yeah. But God is teaching us is that take the first initiative, and I will help you.
Yes.
Just start. Don't think of the right moment and waiting for the right moment and the right. For example, I quit my 9-to-5 job when I was at the peak. I was at sea level, and all the pricks that you get when you are at sea level. Schooling is paid, insurance, everything. Bonuses and travel. I quit it, and I thought, I was too late. I should have quitted earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So again, sometimes we want security. We want, and there is nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Not everybody is fit to be an entrepreneur. I really believe in that. It's taking the first step and just putting yourself out there. I remember, you invited me to do a talk in Toastmasters.
Yes.
And I was going to say, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? And so on. And these all good speakers. And I always have those filler words, sounds, and I know that Toastmasters, they have to, go through the discipline and by deliberate practicing, they become like, you see them and say, this is so simple for them. But we see, the iceberg from the top. We don't see what the work has been done and the repetitive and the repeating. And all this, becomes a skill and becomes like a habit.
100%. I really like how you said that, if it works for me to quit or to start something, it might not work for somebody else. And it's quite okay. So the compassion in your talk, your humbleness makes you grounded to experience more things and not have the fear to step into them. So this must teach our audience a lot of things.
Yeah, fear is a negative feeling or emotion, and it stems. You and I, we have feared certain things in our life, and then it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So we wasted. We occupied our mind in things and worrying about. Sometimes politics, sometimes about the future. We worry about the future, and really, whatever we do is we do now, and if we take every day by itself, we're fine. But when it comes, we're thinking about the future. If you have kids, if you have something, you have career plan and stuff, so you start worrying.
Yeah.
And when you worry about the future, you didn't live today. So you wasted today. Or some people even, they think about they regret the past.
Yeah.
You know, why didn't I went to engineering school? Why didn't I, went to a marketing school? And I would, if I go back, I don't regret anything that happened to me because it all taught me stuff. But I went to engineering. Why electrical engineering? Because it was difficult and it was, seen as, something nice to have. And my father and my parents were really proud of me, But for me, if I go back, I would do marketing altogether, all the way. I'll do psychology, for example.
Oh, honestly, this resonates with me. Yeah. Honestly, you brought back memories to me. Last year itself, I was in that debate between me and myself. Yeah. And I was not blaming myself, but sort of reflecting on moments where I have unfinished books, unfinished chapters. Yes. I changed career. Yeah. I took, for some people might think it's a detour. It was a deliberate choices. But there was a void in me whether I was going on the right path or not. And then the pattern, the loop started, the questioning. Then I woke up. This is where actually the shift happened in me. Just like as you mentioned, that shift happened in the moment where you decided to step forward regardless of the outcome.
Yes.
And I really want to understand what happened after you made that shift. You decided, since I can really resonate with that experience, what happened in your life afterwards?
Oh my, one thing, in year 10, when I was working 9 to 5, year 10, a CEO asked me a question. That question changed my future forever. Yeah, like I said, after that question, I became a chartered marketeer. So he supported me to get my qualification marketing because I was an engineer and I was working in the marketing department in the bank. So I became a chartered marketeer. And when I became a chartered marketeer, I found out that the best element in the marketing mix is the people. Mm-hmm. Is the employees.
Yeah.
And that like a bulb came to me and a wow moment. I said, I like training, and I was doing training. From that time, year 2, I was asked to do more and more and more. And then, I was asked by external institutions to come and train on customer service and sales. And when I became marketing, I started teaching marketing and so on. And through that, I started liking that people. And, any marketeer you see in life, they cannot take care of the 7 Ps, the marketing mix altogether, because it's the business. Marketing is a business. You have to have a product or service. You have to price it correctly. You need the finance. You need logistic. You have to have a place to sell it from, promotion, and then a process system to process the transaction or to deliver the product, physical evidence. And the people, the employees. Usually people are in charge of promotion, so they are into advertising, or they are in charge of products, so they are into product development and product enhancement and so on. So I said, I'm going to choose the people element in the marketing mix. Yeah. And it was the best decision I took from that question from a CEO. That happened in the elevator. So, sometimes, you have certain plans, but God has another plan for you. And it's okay to embrace it. Coming back to what you said, jumping from one place to another, that's the best thing you do when you start. You don't do it when you are late. In the beginning, you're experimenting, you're seeing different avenues, different way, until you click, until you like something that you like, and you say, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. No retirement. you know, because retirement at the end of the day, it's created just to, I think, to kind of kill people. I think it's a big word, but I can say that, you know.
Yeah. I really like the fact that you spoke about exploring and experimenting, actually. But it takes time for one to identify that what we are doing or what we are stepping into is experiments, to accept that idea.
Who?
Because as a person, when I reflect, when I had that, let's say, self-reflection with myself last year, I wasn't aware at that time it was for the good of me to explore. I was looking at it as a moment of blame, you could say.
Yes.
Why didn't I, or why I could have, I should have.
Shame. Well,
let's say something like that. Or if I started earlier, I would have done this and that.
Yeah.
And yes, the shame, as you named it, exactly stems from the unfinished chapters, like the books that I haven't finished.
Yeah.
But that moment where the transition in my mind started, as you said, as you claimed it correctly, is all it takes. How do you think we could embrace those moments of mindset shift to look at things differently?
And I think the easiest way, Mariam, is to look at our life. You know, the trajectory of our life. And we see some milestones and sometimes a big problem. And if you look at it from now back then, and you look, you say, this was not a problem.
Yeah.
It was something good. It was something like comfort. Comfort is bad for a humanity.
True.
We have to be You know why people go to the gym? To get a healthy body and a healthy soul, hopefully, and a healthy mind. Is because they challenge their body.
True.
You know, they carry heavy weights and stuff, so they are challenging their body, so their body becomes bigger and stronger. Similarly, in our life, we get into issues, we get into difficulties, we get into drama, we get into, you know, having a loved one, you know, leaving. That's an important something that you feel and you get emotion. But then, you know, we all know that we will leave one day. And it's like sometimes we think of it, it's like, you know, we are greedy because we want to see them all the time.
Yes.
And when you look at it from their point of view, they are in a better life, you know. But we want them with us. We want them to suffer with us. We don't want to suffer alone, kind of. So these things, I think, you know, the challenges that, you know, and the walls that we face sometimes are there to build us, to build our character, to make us stronger, to face life in a much better way. So it's like a step, you know, steps to glories.
Honestly speaking, I also see a different angle to it. When we think of all the circumstances around us, as you mentioned, someone's leaving, maybe a certain drawback or a failure, or a situation that is harder than the other people. So the circumstances also plays a role in what we finish, what we decide to choose.
Absolutely.
And that's completely
You spoke
correct.
about your books and the unfinished. Now, sometimes we need to, you know, be nice to ourselves.
Yeah.
And sometimes being nice is to say no. To see, you know, having a project in your mind and without working on it, it's better to delete it from your program.
Wow.
And put it on the side, put it on the shelf and say, I will tackle it when I'm ready. Okay?
Like that.
Because maybe in 1 year you will, or maybe in 1 month you will go and work on it. But if it's there and it's nagging on your mind, I haven't done this, so you start feeling guilty and you go into this emotion, it's better to cross it from your agenda and saying, I'm not, because I have a priority.
Yeah.
And I only have 24 hours. And I'm only one person. How can I be in so many places? So it's better to focus. It's better to, handle one project at a time and phasing them out, chunking them so they are more, you can handle them. Looking at the book, it's a huge project. It's not easy.
Yeah.
And I have the same issue with you. I have, a book that I've deleted,
Yeah.
But one day I'm going to go back to it.
Revisit.
Yes.
That's true. That's true. I sense a lot of, self-compassion in your talk. And this is what we should embrace, because one needs to be merciful toward oneself. Otherwise, if the world is cruel and we are cruel toward ourselves, how are we going to proceed in doing things?
I learned recently that our body listens to us. Can you imagine? Every cell in our body is listening to us. So how do we see ourselves? And what's the internal dialogue? What are we telling ourselves? Are we telling ourselves we are not enough? Or are we telling ourselves I'm ugly? Or am I telling myself I'm not capable? Am I telling myself I'm not skillful? I'm telling myself I'm not worth it? I don't know. So all these, even speaking, you can speak to your heart and you can speak to your lungs. And you would heal them by the way you speak to yourself. And, again, in the Quran, there is a verse, very clear, God says, in swearing, that, is what you say.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even what you say, it's what you think. Yes. What you put in your mind. Because our mind is like, from our thoughts, we can make this world heaven or we can make it hell. It's all in our mind.
That is true, the power of mind.
Yeah.
And honestly speaking, this resonates on a deep level, because I truly said to myself that I am a work in progress. And that's where the shift happened.
Absolutely.
I started being happy. I enjoyed what I am doing. I find it more fruitful and joyful.
Yes.
So no more blames.
No.
And no more expectations, because I'm enjoying the journey, as they say.
Absolutely.
You've mentioned something in our conversation about, the physical challenges that we put ourselves into, be it a gym, be it a new experience. So I really want you to take me about, before those moments of stepping into something uncomfortable, like speaking, sharing ideas. What is really like to step into those moments? What does it feel to step into the unknown or the challenging or the new experiences?
That's where fear comes in, because our body is used to being where it is. And when you take it to a challenging situation, it refuses, subconsciously. And here where your conscious plays a big role, where you say, okay, thank you. Thank you, my mind, for telling me that I'm stepping onto a danger zone. Relax. I want to experience that. I want to go through it.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's how you speak to yourself and how you internally, and by doing that, as if you are praying to God for assistance.
Yeah.
And God will be with you. And no matter what it is. I mean, we are like, as a human being, we have so many capabilities. We are able to do anything that we want to do, but provided we want to do it.
We want to do it, yeah.
If there is no, the desire, and you can be anywhere. And I usually in my training, I use the juggling balls. You go
I wish that I could give a practical, scenario for the audience here, because you're well known about these. So maybe next time.
Yeah. So anything you want to learn, you can learn it.
Yeah.
Right. And you become, you can be an expert in anything, and that's where you step into the learning zone, and you create new neurons in your brain. You become more alert, you become more, and doing this new stuff and getting into these challenges, it makes life easy. You look at life as, okay, it's easy. Any challenge it comes, you say, I've been through challenges. And that that too shall pass. You know,
That
it will
too
go.
shall pass. I mean, I really like how you bolded the word want, provided that you want something. From your experience, how someone would know that they have an internal resistance, something that they are resisting, they are not aware of?
Well, that's a difficult thing because it's again on each individuals and how they are in their life and where they are in terms of their life cycle. But I think.
Let me reframe it. Have you encountered a moment where you thought that you don't want to? You're naming it that I don't want to, or maybe I don't feel like it, or I will deter it for later on. But then you came to a realization that it was resistance?
Yeah, definitely. مثلا, for example, you get an opportunity, for example, to speak, okay? And then you say, am I good enough to speak on that venue?
Okay.
And you start comparing yourself with others. And the problem with comparison is when you compare yourself with people who are like way more experienced than you and stuff. It's good to have people who are more as idle as you learn from them. But again, you have your own thumb stamp, you know. You have your own personality, you have your own uniqueness in you, but you can learn from others, and you build your own repertoire, or you know, your own skills, kind of. So it's the comparison that, you know, when I compare my lowest skills with his or her highest skill. That's not fair.
Yeah.
You know? And then, you know, you see yourself as a garden. You're so many flowers and so many, you know, you're not one thing. You're just, you know, beautiful, you know, garden. And that person, he has his own garden, and you have your own garden. You're unique. So it's stepping into the unknown is mentally, our mindset tells us not to. Why?
Yeah.
Why uncomfortable? Why go to the gym? Why go and speak? No, I stay home. And why go to work? You know, this is like, you know, there is the cortisol, or the stress hormone, or the flight and fight amygdala in our brain. It's something good. It's God, you know, gave it to us. So we get up and we do the things that we are supposed to do.
Yeah.
And each one of us is here with their own, you know, voice.
Yes, that's true. You really brought up a moment, or something that you mentioned actually brought up a moment in my memories. Recently, I've had an honest encounter with one of the greatest, you know, leaders in Kuwait, and he really helped in highlighting that. I was just in an honest conversation. I was mentioning that I do not compare myself to others, rather than I am somewhat. If you say in Arabic, we say al-ghabt. It's not like really jealousy, but somewhat I am really jealous.
You admire.
Admire. Yes, that's the correct.
Yeah.
I admire those who's more knowledgeable.
Yes.
It's not comparison, rather than, you know, I wish to be somewhere.
Like okay.
And as the richer as the person gets, I get more that feeling.
Yeah.
So he reminded me, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in his verse, he said that وَفَوْقَ كُلِّ ذِي عِلْمٍ عَلِيمٍ. And above everyone who's knowledgeable, there is someone who's more knowledgeable.
And you cannot stop. I mean, if you go in any field, there are so many subfields under that. And so it's continuous. Learning is continuous.
Yes. And it's really, once we realize that if we think this is the bar, there's always going to be a bar above it. And if we think this is the rock bottom, there is something beneath it as well.
Absolutely. There is a cute video where there is one guy was waiting for the bus on the bus stop, and the bicycle comes, beside him on the street. And he said, "I wish I have bicycle." And then they put the camera on the bicycle. He stops on the traffic light. And then he see a motorcycle and say, "I wish I have motorcycle." And then they put the motorcycle on another, he looks at the car and he said, "I wish I have a car," and so on. So I used to do this. No, don't. I mean, I'm talking to our audience. Just look at what you have. And what you have, it's like the spring that makes you, jump.
Yes.
On a better level or go to. So focus, even in leaderships, there is no human being that is perfect. We all have our own flaws.
True.
Now, and what we do to be successful is we don't focus on our flaws. We focus on our strength. So when you focus on your strength and you build on them, then you become a great person. Mm-hmm. So don't look at the flaws. Everybody has flaws and no one is perfect except God. And we know that. But yet, deep inside, we tend to, again, programming, sometimes from childhood,
Yeah.
I've been told I was the smart one among my cousins,
yes.
And they've been told, "Look at Hamza, he's getting, this. Why don't you be like him?"
Yeah.
And I see them, in front of me, and they're looking at me like, they want to kill me, my cousins, because I got a good grade and they didn't. And that will affect because when you're young, we're observing our parents, our surrounding, our environment, and it becomes subconsciously, and we start comparing and we do stuff like that. Yeah.
True. And since I resonate with you on this context of comparison, I was also on the top of my grades. And it's really, that's why nowadays at home, when I see the kids or unconsciously, say my sister mentioned to her son, for example, like, "Look at him, he greeted us, you should be that." Yeah. Don't compare. Yeah. Just remind him how to be better without comparison, because I know that it some way, how to say, kills something in the person.
Yes.
Yeah? It does. Let's shift into the patterns that we have in our childhood, growing up. What messages did you receive about confidence or being ready? If you can take me back.
When I was a child?
Yeah.
Well, I think my parents played a big role. I mean, when we were in kindergarten, we were supposed to bring a toy. So we play with it in the afternoon or something. And I asked my dad to get me a toy, and he got me a Jeep with an army person, And he said, "One day you're going to be an officer." I said, "Yes, one day I'm going to be an officer." I've never liked to be in the army or, from that industry. Okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a beautiful industry, but it's not, I don't see myself there. Anyways, but I didn't know back then. Another thing, I remember, when I was in the States studying, sometimes I reach a stage and I said, "Why am I here? And why am I studying these differential equations and dynamics and all these,
integration?
It's electrical circuits."
100%.
So I said, why did I do this? Why am I here? I should be home with my sibling, with my family. And one picture comes to me like a movie in my mind's eye. It's when my mother used to hold me from the hand, and she will cross the street, the main street. Mm-hmm. She could cross it, and then I could see the school. It's a walking distance, maybe 1 kilometer or maybe 700 meters or something like this. And she would point me, I'll see the school, and she said bye, and I'll say bye, and I walk by myself to the school. grade 1, okay? So that movie made me say, no, I have to study. And I go back to, my homework, I go back to my assignment, I go to study. So I finish and come back to my mother.
Yes.
Proud,
100%. Yeah, it's amazing how you connected it both to have a goal or a memory in the past that you always revisit.
Yeah.
Something that, you always look forward to.
Yeah.
So I'm going on a mission.
Yes.
And here I come, Mom.
Yeah.
I like that. I really like that. Has that feeling changed over time?
Which feeling of them?
The feeling to have something you look forward to.
Looking forward, looking for the future is always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But being consumed by the future is not good. Meaning, you have to have a vision. Every single one of us have to have their own personal vision. They should think about 5 years from now, how am I going to look like in terms of my physique, in terms of my income, in terms of my whatever contribution I'm doing for the community or whatever. And that with, as a vision. And you work toward that vision. But I don't think about, No, have a plan and work on it day by day to reach that vision. That helps you stay connected and focus on what you want to achieve and if you want to be, if you want to influence.
Yeah.
And we are made, God selected us to be on this planet Earth to build it. Now, how you build it? It's not only rocks and concrete and stuff. No, even building people and helping each other, solving problems.
True.
So you have a reason. You have a contribution. You feel that you are contributing, and this is what you want in life. Because at the end of the day, you look at the people your loved ones who left this earth. And you remember how they touched you, how they talked to you and how they were, and you see the good things in them and how they treat you. And unfortunately, at the same time, there are people that you see that, you don't want to remember them. Because they bring, toxic energy and so on. Yeah.
Honestly. The brutal truth is that whether we like it or not, whatever we step into in the past, it becomes a part of us. So your journey in technical or in engineering itself shows up today because you mentioned problem solving.
Yes.
And that's something, whether we like it or not, it's a part of our brain transition to things. We look at things differently. And I faced the same thing when I stepped into HR. They told me that you think completely different, somewhere out of the box. But then gradually they start to resonate with that. And that shift in, the human side of you, the care for people shows up here today. And I'm really amazed of that transition. How does it really work for you?
See, it's when you are an engineer, I believe.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, going through those, subjects, anything you can handle after that. Anything you put your mind in, you can make it happen.
Yeah.
For me, it was an accident. For me, I was waiting for the oil sector to start, processing my application. Okay. And I was bored because even when I was in the States, I was almost recruited by MCI, a telecommunication company.
Yeah.
So I was like thinking, I get the job right away. So I stayed 2 months jobless after graduation, and I started complaining. And my mom, for some reason, were worried that I go back to America because I have a job offer. She told my sister, to help me, my older sister. So my sister came to me and she said, you have extra certificates and copies and this. Why don't you apply for the banks? I said, banks? I said, yeah. She said, yeah, just, interval. It's like, until the oil sector, calls you. And I like the idea. It's better than staying home, and I'm learning something new, and I love to learn. So I said, why not? And I went to apply, and we had a test, and we were like 50 graduates. They put us 25 graduates here, 25 here, and they made like IQ test and English test and so on. And then from those, they selected the top 10. I was one of them. And then from the 10, they selected the top 5 after 2 interviews.
Yeah.
So I saw the process. I liked it. And I was lucky to be in the department that the manager was really awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, personality-wise, he's very skillful, he's very smart, he's very humble, he's very friendly, So I was really lucky, and I enjoyed, working with him and with the team. And then after 6 months, I got the call from KMPC, I think.
Yeah.
And I went and told my boss. And I said, should I ask for a leave or something? He said, no. Just go there.
Wow.
Spend a day and see how it goes. I'm not going to stop your career. Go there and spend the day there. If you like it, sign the contract, and then come and finish your work here. So I went there. I stayed one day. I didn't like it. And the team leader back then is telling me, why are you going to the bank? You're an engineer. Why? And I said, there I was learning a new stuff. Yeah. And here, we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
And it was, of course, I didn't know back then. It's the beginning. You start in certain department, and then you get, to a better, you get to a better job. But that was, I worked with the team of IT support. So they get a call, I go with them to install a software to, recuperate some computer or something, the PC. And I was like, I said, do you fix the computer, PC? He said, no, we just change it.
Okay.
And I said, why?
What a loss.
Yeah. And he said, this is how...
Engineer.
So I said, I'm an engineer and I'm going to work like this. And back then I had a tie.
Yeah.
And they advised me not to come in with a tie in that job. And they were wearing jeans and stuff. And I was, like in the bank, you cannot. Either you wear qitra wagal, formal, or you wear a suit with a tie.
I like that.
Yeah, so I saw them in jeans and stuff and said, you cannot wear a tie. I said, why? I said, because sometimes you go down and maybe it will go into the...
Clog. Yeah.
For safety reasons and stuff.
Final destination, they give.
So I immediately went back to work and, I said, I'm going to be a banker.
Yeah. That's excellent. So you had a hands-on experience, and luckily it was managed or mentored well with a great leader back then.
Very lucky.
And I think those people who are lucky to face such a great mentor early on, it helps them realize their career or what do they like in life much sooner.
Definitely.
Than those who doesn't.
Because we don't see, Mariam, our potential.
No.
Other people sees us.
100%. Yeah. That's truly correct.
And what we do, we should do the same. We see other people's, their potential, and we help them achieve what they want to achieve.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Let's speak to our audience and tell them that those who confuse hesitation with being responsible. Have you ever experienced that?
Hesitation and being responsible?
Yeah.
Well, being responsible is the opposite of hesitating, right? Mm-hmm. So you hesitate because you are afraid, or you're afraid of failure, you're afraid of the unknown. And that hesitation, maybe it is a message. Your body is telling you, you're not ready. Mm-hmm. Okay? It's like, if I can tell you a story.
Yeah, sure.
After Kuwait liberations, they gave us 7 months salary. It was collected and given us on one shot. So a friend of mine bought a boat. Okay, so in the summer, we go, it's a fun boat.
Yeah.
So we go on the beach and we go on the boat and we enjoy it. And 2 brothers, they were good in water skiing.
Yes.
And I remember when I was a little child, I remember seeing in the cartoon, a crocodile was pulled, and he goes to the beach and then he hits the palm trees and then his head goes like this. And I've always wanted to water ski, but I've never tried it. I don't know. And these guys, they were, water skiing.
Enjoying.
So I said, Waleed, I want to do it. And he said, of course. And he gave me the life jacket.
The gadgets, yeah.
He threw me in the water and got me the stick and all. Now, I want to put on the sticks like the usual how I want to wear my shoes. So I put my shoes down and then I put my foot in it. Now, holding that, stick, it's as tall as myself. So I bring it down and it goes up because of the gravity and the water.
Yes.
So it goes up and I was like struggling. I found out that I can't even wear the stick. Mm-hmm. How am I going to be on the water? And for me, it was like a dream to be like, skiing on the water.
Yes.
And so I said, what comes to your mind, you're not able.
Not ready, hesitant,
You hesitate and you say, no, forget it, let me go up again. But what happened, Waleed jumped in.
Okay.
And he said, Hamza, relax, what's wrong? You're wearing a life jacket, just kick back. So I slept on my back and then my foot comes up. When my foot comes up, I can very easily slide it into the sticks. Mm-hmm. Instead of bringing the stick now my foot is up and I can put my foot in the stick. Mm-hmm. So, and then he said, when you hold this, when we pull you, with it's try to help us, you become up, yeah.
Okay.
And after, doing it I fell a few times and stuff. And I was like, astonished that I was able to ski.
Yeah.
So this, if I didn't have that mentor or that coach in that time, I wouldn't have been. And there are so many stories of that, sometimes through childhood. Like I have a friend who, when you tell him horseback riding, he gets irritated.
Yeah.
Why? Because when we were children, we went to Cairo, we went to the pyramids and we saw horses and everybody wants to jump to the horse. Our friend didn't want to be in the horse. Mm-hmm. He wanted to be in the hantour,
Yeah.
He said, it's easy, why you go?
Carriage, huh?
Yeah, and the carriage. Why you want to be into the horse? So, wow, we were excited to go like cowboys,
Yeah.
in the desert. So because he was afraid, he started asking, the coach of the horse. And he started pulling it because he was fearful. So the horse jumped, he fell down, and he started running after us. And we continued with the horse, and he was running, But if I had went down with him and told him, relax, and coached him, he would have ridden a horse. And whenever we go travel abroad in Europe or somewhere, and there is horseback riding, he would jump into it because it's fun.
Yes. Honestly speaking, yes, we learned early on to be independent and listen to ourselves and try to push through in life. But as a matter of fact, we need each other.
Yes.
It's a support system.
Absolutely.
We cannot do and endure things all together on our own.
Cannot to clap with one hand.
That's exactly it. And it took me a while to realize that, but it's good that I did because the inclusion of other people around you really gives you a sense of comfort. And having that person to tell you, relax, submit. How often do we tell ourselves, I should enjoy the moment, I shouldn't really think about what's happening around me, right? So when... And
those thinking, it plays with your emotions. Your emotions will not make you
we have a leniency to go toward the negative always. The way that we protect ourselves.
The mind.
Yeah.
It's used to looking for, danger.
Danger. Right.
To protect us.
We must have been warriors back then.
I think it's the genes.
The genes? All right. It could be.
Yeah.
How do you think we can start to recognize the difference in our thoughts?
It's being observant, because nobody told us to watch our thoughts and to observe our thoughts. Nobody never told us about our thoughts. Mm-hmm. And we think we don't know about our thoughts. I mean, I'm talking about myself. And then when I start studying about the mind, and you know, when you study about the mind, there are big scholars, they interchangeably use the word mind and brain.
Yeah.
And they're totally different. They're totally different. And it confuses you, you know, when somebody is writing about the brain, and then when in some chapters, they're talking about the mind as if they are talking about the brain.
Okay.
And that's confusing. They should be really separate. So the thought comes in the mind, and the mind dictate our feelings and our emotions, and our emotions, our heart gives the order to our brain. Sure. And gives them, you know, tell them, okay, I'm happy, so I should get, you know, all these nice hormones.
Sure.
Or I'm sad, so I get those, you know, bad hormones. Mm-hmm. Or I'm negative, or I feel tense or stressed or something like this. So it's a loop, you know. So becoming an observer of your thoughts, it's really a major, for me, a major discovery.
Yeah.
And when I started looking at my thoughts, and I saw there are so many kharabit. I mean, there's so many thoughts that are mainly negative.
And made up.
They come from maybe 10 years back, and they're repetitive. From yesterday, they're repeating. The same thoughts, they're repeating, they're going into a loop. And they're occupying a chunk of our mind, and we are entertaining them because we don't know any better. Now, our mind is like a garden again. Yeah. We have to put, the thoughts that we have are the seeds. So what kind of garden we want to, depending on the seeds, depending on what are we thinking of. Yeah. So previously we talk about, like, you know, talking, or how you internally talk. And the same thing is the thought. The thought is powerful. It has an energy, and it goes to the quantum field, and it goes to, you know, God. Listen to it. So even when we talk about, for example, karma, you know, and karma is what you do, you get back, you know, and what you think of, you get it back as well. So that is very important, that we realize that not every thought we should entertain.
Yes, absolutely.
We only focus on the thought, and we look at the thoughts. And I started looking at my thoughts, astaghfirullah, when I'm praying. I see thoughts, what am I thinking of this?
Yes.
Now, I should be focused on what am I doing. And I find that the only solution that gets me grounded or gets me anchored is my breathing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So whenever, you know, you started with, you know, taking a deep breath. Whenever I, you know, consciously breathe, I'm present. I'm here. I'm not thinking of what time it is, when am I gonna finish, what to do later, I have to do this. No. I'm here and now. And that breathing, the breathing itself it's a science. It's an industry, and we're taking it for granted. Why? Because we breathe automatically.
True.
Nobody reminds us of breathe. And only if you are having some sort of, you know, congestion, nose or something, you start, you know, you want to put anything so you can breathe again. But all the time, all our life, we're taking it for granted. And it's a gift from God, and we shouldn't take it for granted, and we should breathe deliberately. And we take a lot. It's in abundance. You know, it's available for everybody, the animals, in the sea, in the desert, in the plants, for everybody.
Yeah.
And we should take it in abundance, and we should think about the breathing. And when we breathe deliberately, it's like a blissful moment comes into the mind where it's still, there is no thoughts. And when there is no thoughts, you feel comfortable, you feel loved, you feel all the peace and all these things, because, you know, it's the mind who is like taking us forward. What's going to happen later? When I get old, thinking about retirement, thinking about, you know, but you're not living. As you said, it's the journey, enjoying the journey, what you're doing. Okay, you have the destination. Whether you achieve it or you don't achieve it, you're enjoying the journey.
Yeah.
And that journey is making you another person altogether.
Yes, that's true. Honestly, we talked about a lot of things that I would like to segment and go over with you because they're all interesting. During our conversation, I mentioned made-up thoughts.
Yes.
And I meant that during that time when I was reflecting, that negative voice was telling me that, oh, you unfinished the book.
Yeah.
But what if I thought it differently? It wasn't suiting me at that time, or I wasn't ready for it.
Exactly.
Once I become ready for it, I will go back and revisit it.
Exactly.
And the other segment
That's a good
point, yeah?
To talk to yourself.
Yes. And the other point where you mentioned about the breathing being unconscious. It's a funny thing. I came across someone who was saying, wonder if everything were conscious, like I'm going to blink. And these thoughts, you know. Similarly to our thoughts, you mentioned thinking while in a moment that you shouldn't be thinking, being overly conscious about things. That also help us remember that we can be conscious, we can be aware of our thoughts, yet be mindful of what we are going through and not present the moments in a moment where they shouldn't be present, if I might. So if I am in for example, a meeting or conversing with other people, and if I am aware about that person, like about their body language, their gestures, and I'm busy reading them because my thought is to know about them, to read them, while I forgot all about the conversation that's going through. So what you mentioned is really good. It helps us know which moment actually is good for us to be aware and conscious, and which is not. And there comes the filtration, right? Using filters for our thoughts. So how do you really, in those moments where your thoughts present in a moment that they shouldn't, handle them?
I like the analogy of, you know, the sky and the clouds. Okay. Now, when you look at the cloudy sky, you see the clouds. They are not staying. And every moment they're somewhere else. So your thoughts should be like a cloud going by. I shouldn't entertain them.
Yeah.
So they come and they leave. But the problem is when I think of a certain thought and I start dwelling on it.
Oh, yes.
And I started, like, for example, you get stung by a bee, okay? Your body gets swollen, and you get like, you know, you're like, you know, you start, you know, talking about the pain, and you got stung. You cannot change anything.
Yeah, sure.
Just accept it, relax, rather than complaining and internally, you know. So from the pain, you made it into suffering. And that suffering is not what happened to the sting. It's your mind filterization or your mind translations of what happened. You are saying, why me? I'm the victim. Now my hand is swollen. Another person who has the same experience will say, oh, this is really good for my hand and for my body. This, you know, poison of the bee, it's good, you know? So my hand will be swollen for a day or two, but then my body will be stronger because the bee sting is healthy, supposedly, you know. So how you see things, it's all from the mind. How we interpreted, you know, the things.
Yeah.
So you know, sometimes, you know, you break the cup.
Yeah.
The cup got broken.
Yeah.
Why dwell? Us, we should clean it. Or now, you know, with the Chinese, they can fix it with, Japanese, they fix it with gold and it becomes nicer than before it got broken.
And honestly, this happened to me recently, and it might sound like exaggerating, but yesterday, you know, the boiling water from the kettle, if it drops on you, it will burn you.
Yes.
It happened to me after I poured it in the pot and some of the water splashed.
Oh, man.
I felt it, but I said that it's from the pot, it's not from the kettle, you know? And afterwards, you know, I just held something cold from the, you know, freezer, and this thing is gone. I don't even have any burns, and I was amazed.
That's the power of the mind.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, there was an experiment where they put a person with his hand is somewhere, and then they put like a cover.
Okay.
And they put as if they put a plastic hand as if it's his hand. Okay, and they, you know, beat the plastic hand.
Yes.
He gets.
صح, I remember. I remember this one. Yeah. True.
That's all the mind.
Yeah,
mind
true.
is very powerful.
It can trick you. Yeah.
Yeah, and we can. That's why I said we have to seed the ideas, the thoughts that we have. It should be beautiful seeds. So we have flowers, we have gardens in our mind. So our life will become like heaven.
That's absolutely.
We are responsible for our life. It's not the external factors.
Yeah.
Sometimes we blame, you know, we blame the government, we blame the manager, we blame the parents, we blame the kids, we blame my relatives, we blame my friends, you know. But blaming is below the line.
Yes, that's true.
We have to take personal responsibility and move on in everything.
One has to be lucky to stumble upon people who can give them that push, that talk, so that they reduce that self-doubt, I'd say, and start to focus on what they are capable. And amazingly, what you find when you start to converse with people, those who doubt themselves are actually the greatest ones.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, they're hard on themselves.
True.
Yeah.
True. The inner critic is harsh.
Yes.
After we talked about many things about, you know, your childhood and how you appeared in your career, nowadays you are present here in the studio, talking to people about, you know, presence and confidence. How do you really see readiness today? How do you see the confidence today?
See, it's the generation. Now, the new generation is, some of them are very overconfident and some of them are not confident at all. And that's, you know, weary, and we need to, we take care of that. It's a social media, basically. And something that we talked about, comparing yourself with others, and seeing, you know, going through social media, we should all have a limit on how many hours we spend on social media, because it has a negative effect if we are not careful, again, because, you know, you can be addicted. It's so addictive. The algorithm is done in a very psychological way to make people, you know, every platforms, they want the people to stay the longest. And that's how they measure their ROI. That's how they measure their success, is how many people are viewing they are on their platform. So they are, you know, they have so many ways of keeping you attracted and scrolling, and then you lost a lot of time where that time can be invested in something that make you a different person, studying, learning something new, rather than just, going through these things.
We spoke about readiness. Now, when you reflect back on readiness, do you actually wait for it, or do you build it through action?
Build it through action. I mean, sometimes we're never ready. It's not, it's you get ready by taking the action, by taking the first step. That's how you become ready. It's like the motivation. It's not like your mood is not okay, or it's not. You start and then you get your mood. So even readiness, you have to start. You have to start somewhere, rather than saying, oh, one day I will be ready. No. It depends. If you have multiple projects, if you have so many things to do, then yes, then you say, okay, I'm not ready to tackle this and this and that. And you're being honest to yourself and honest to your capability. And you are saying, okay, I will put these on the side. I will work on this project only. More focus. I'll finish it. When I finish it, I tackle the other project, and so on, and so on. And even within the first project, you chunk it. It's like, when you see it in countries and nations, that they have a vision, and every now and then they have a milestone they celebrate, So it keeps them going. It gives them, so even us personally, we should celebrate. Once we reach a certain milestone, we should celebrate. For example, I don't know. I would celebrate. You know how I'd celebrate? I would call in one of the companies that they do home treatment, massage, or something like that.
Excellent, yeah.
Yeah, why not? And then you reward yourself that, or you take a leave, or you travel, for example. These, you motivate yourself, and you say, I'm always ready.
Yes, yes.
I'm always ready for anything that comes. And when it comes, whatever it is, if I succeed with it, it's fine. If I didn't succeed, I learned something out of it. Yeah. Definitely, you have something to gain when you start something new, or when you take a challenge.
That's a truly excellent way to look at it. When we celebrate those small wins, when we remind ourselves that we actually achieved something,
yes.
And we said something that we look forward to, and put it aside and this is the things we achieved.
It's similar to being grateful. When you focus on the strength that you have rather than limitation, then you will be different, and so on. So it's always that way.
And honestly, if we want to give to the outward, we need to pour from a filled cup.
Yes,
so as you mentioned, taking care of yourself and booking even for this treatment, this is an excellent way to recharge and help present yourself out there. Was there like a precise moment where you could think of that changed the perspective for you about readiness?
It's experiences.
Yeah.
It's experiences that you go through that helps you, see things from a different perspective, knowledge. When you live in one country and you don't travel, you don't see the world, you think this is the world. When you open, you have a growth mindset, is that, I'm able, I can learn anything, and looking at life that it's there for experimenting, making mistakes is not wrong, it's learning, and we all learn. If you look at trajectory in our life, you see the best learning happened when we failed.
Yeah.
Really, you learn the best way when you fail, and you become stronger, and that's what gives you resilience, and you know that anything you can do and anything you can achieve. And when you come in with that mindset, again, I go back to our previous conversation where it's God you're telling God, I want this. So God will help you, provided you start.
So the best method to learn is to learn by failing, actually.
Yes.
And it teaches a lesson.
But fail in your early life. The more you fail in your early life, you get, people will, if you're just starting your career and you fail, people they'll excuse you. But if you are on the top of your career, you've done 30 years, 20 years, and nobody expects you to fail now.
Yeah.
Because you failed already. Now you have gained experiences, you have got knowledge. So now you will not fail, Aslan. You shouldn't fail because you have gained so many experiences from your previous failures. So now you don't need, to fail, and you will not fail.
But that's scary.
How?
Because, giving ourselves a margin to fail and be okay with it.
True.
Rather than setting that,
you will not fail.
high level of expectation from others.
Yeah.
Because everyone is watching us.
Yeah.
So it looks scary for me.
Yeah. In a way, but when you are looking at something new, something you've never done before, okay? Again, you talked about limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I believe that who am I to be an author for a book? And that's limitation. And the only way I can, fix this is to go through it, is to do it, is to publish, even if it fails. That's how we learn.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the only difference is that we're operating from experience. That's why the impact of failure wouldn't have a huge.
Yeah, because you've learned a lot through the way. You have more experiences. So it's with you. All the past is there. It's new. You don't need to think about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. If someone's listening to us and just simply saying to himself or herself, I am just waiting to feel confident, what would you say to them?
Stay in bed. Really. I mean, waiting becomes like, waiting is shouldn't be in our vocabulary. We shouldn't wait. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't wait for anything. Now, why I'm saying this is that nowadays, with the technology that you have, let's say I have an appointment with you and you came in late, okay? Mm. And I will not be waiting for you. I will work on something else. I have, my equipment in my phone. Yeah. I can do some work while I'm waiting for you to come. But I didn't wait. I was doing something else. So I was using my time properly. Now with the technology that we have, you shouldn't wait. Minimum, you can listen to an audiobook while you are waiting, for example. Yeah. That's not called waiting. On the contrary, you're utilizing your time efficiently and powerfully.
Yes. So if they have second thoughts about their confidence and they do not want to appear out there, what one word you could encourage them with?
No one is perfect. Mm-hmm. We all have our flaws. And we don't know until we try.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't know. I mean, my first presentation during school, I was terrible. And I said, okay, it was English 201 or something like this. And the teacher said, 7 minutes you have to talk about any topic. And I said, I'll choose Kuwait. And they are foreigners. I can bluff them. I can talk about anything.
Yeah.
But when I stood on the stage, I forgot everything. It was the longest 7 minutes I ever had in my life. My knees, this dance, I think I created it back then. But coming forward, like in year maybe 7 or 6 in the bank, a new CEO comes and he says, Hamza, I want you to present to the whole bank.
Yeah.
You know, and we took big hotel, you know, and I presented, and the next day again I received a letter from him that, oh, your presentation went very well received and we should utilize you more.
Yeah.
So that, you know, again, that's another leader who found something in me that I didn't know I have.
Mm-hmm.
And again, so we should do the same to the people that we see, the people we meet, to the new generation. We should embrace them, and we should guide them, and we should mentor them, and we should help. And that's, you know, we don't lose anything if we're helping others, if we're mentoring. It's actually, you know, mentorship is two-way street. The mentee learns and the mentor learns. They both learn from each other. So again, it's like, you know, when you said, you know, it's all about, you know, interdependent. Is, you know, ايد واحدة ما تصفق, or one hand doesn't clap. And if we see, you know, in our life, you know, the concept of the jungle, or the, you know, the rainforest and so on, the forest, you see the trees and everything, you know, underneath there is a whole world there, and they're all connected. They're helping each other, working with each other in harmony down there, with silence. Nobody knows. We only see the tree and the flowers or whatever, but underneath there is a lot of mechanism happening and working. So that should teach us, you know. And I like the metaphor of the lotus flower. Mm-hmm. You know, in spiritual and in many, you know, tradition, they always use the lotus flower. And it's really a nice metaphor, because the lotus flower, it doesn't grow in a clear, nice water.
Yeah.
It grows in the dump, or, you know, the still water, the rotten environment. But again, from the rotten environment comes the most gorgeous, beautiful flowers, you know, we see on planet Earth. With all this mud and all this, you know, bad environment and really worse environment, and you see it, you know, beautifully, you know, rising above all this water, and you know, saying that I'm here. And, you know, it's something to learn from. And to say, you know, sometimes we blame, right? We say, oh, the environment, or only if I am this, or only if I am that, or don't just you know, put your vision. This is like, you know, like clear vision, a clear idea. This is your hand, the clear idea, and think of your left hand as all the support that you have from God, from your parents, from your relatives, from your friends, from all your loved ones,
mentors,
together, your mentors, the learning. Now, you know, you have everywhere, you have, you know, learning platforms, those podcasts and so on. You know, learn and you know, put it on your heart and say, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be a very successful in it, and go for it.
Yes, there's immense to learn from nature. I mean, as you mentioned, the lotus or even the bamboo stick, how do they feed on each other, and even during the harsh condition, and also they bounce back after, you know, they don't break. I mean, they have a high durability. And
they're flexible.
We really forgot to be in contact to nature, and there's where we started to question things in the wrong way.
That's a good way to reflect. Nature is really nice.
Yes. In your answer, you mentioned, you know, having good mentors actually help shaping how you look at things, and this is true. I really agree with you on that aspect, and with all the gratitude to the great mentors out there and the great mentors that were in your journey itself. However, it's you who deliberately took the choice to move past
Yes.
the doubt, if I might name it.
Yeah, you're right.
And no matter how much we give gratitude to those around us who support us, who helped us, clap two hands rather than one hand, something in you that echoed a strong, voice that you can do it, right? And here is the change happened.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I believe every single human being, as long as they are on planet Earth, they have a purpose.
Yeah.
And they have to find out for themselves.
Yes, absolutely. What one small step someone could take this week? Something simple to start building their confidence.
It depends on what they want, but, start. Just start, by, for example, let's take, because everybody gets going to the gym or going for a run or for a walk. Now I don't, maybe in the mall because of the heat. But the idea is that, you keep saying, oh, not today, tomorrow I will, and it never happens. So taking the step by preparing, beforehand, before you sleep, preparing your running shoes, your outfit and stuff, keeping them ready for tomorrow, that by itself is as if you are again telling God that I want to do this.
Yeah.
And God will help you. And when you just start small. In everything, you want to write a book?
Yeah.
Write only 1 page.
True. Start small.
Yeah, write 1 page a week. Okay? Write, start. Once you start, then from 1 page a week, you may start doing every 2 days a page.
Yeah, that's true.
Before you know it, at the end of the year, you have 300 pages. Now, not all of it will be fine. You send it to an editor, they work it out for you, they, get the gist out of it and make it nicely
you don't have to do it alone.
written.
Yes, that's correct.
That's editors why they're development editors are there to help you,
So yes, completely right. Instead of waiting for approval or blaming the environment to be right, set the environment for yourself and get going.
Sometimes the environment is inside us. For example, me, I'm afraid. Again, fear of how my book maybe gets criticized.
Yeah.
How am I going to look like? So it's better to keep it and not publish it. And that's the easy way out or the lazy way out.
Yes.
But no, do it and maybe it will work out.
Yeah.
You never know.
Maybe the inner audience didn't like it, but there are someone out there that would appreciate it and resonate with it. Yes.
It's like what's his name? Dan Wire. He says, don't die with the music in you.
Oh.
Publish. Just, don't keep it.
Absolutely.
Let other people see it,
On a final note, I would like to conclude with 2 questions to leave the audience with. I hate for this conversation to finish and I cut it short, but we have to do it. Yeah. How do you think the younger version of you would see the way you approach confidence today?
Well, frankly speaking, if I see the younger person in me now, I would punish me. Because I was not aware of anything. I was just living, Whatever comes, it's fine. I didn't look at life, how am I going to live life, what's my life purpose, things like this. I was just living, with the group, with the people, how they are. So I was...
If he's among the audience, your younger version, and looking at you today, shining in this episode and conversing about confidence, what would he really tell you?
He would say, how did you get there? Or maybe you're amazing. I didn't think of myself. I told you, about my first presentation at school, what happened to me.
Yeah.
But again, it's something that you train for it. You do it several times. And if you are a long life learner, and this is what we are supposed to be, we're supposed to learn all the time. So no matter what field you are wanted to be an expert in, you can. Provided you do the 10 years.
Yeah.
And anything, if you do 10 years, then you can teach others about what you do.
Yeah.
So you become an expert.
True.
So expertise, I think if
Plays
you do
a role.
anything,
Yeah. On a final note, looking at yourself in compared to the past, how do you see your level of confidence now?
Oh, big change.
Big difference, yeah.
Big difference, totally. I wasn't confident whatsoever. And I always doubting, you know. But again, it's the knowledge that you get and the experiences that you have, and the reading and having good mentors. We need help. Everybody needs help. I need help. That's why coaches are there. For presidents, for emperors, for kings, they need somebody to
assist.
Assist and to help and
And admitting that we need help is bravery, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It takes us a while until we realize that we operate in an orchestra. One cannot perform with another, right?
If you want a nice thing, if you want a nice output, then you have to have a different, even what makes Kuwait different is the diversity of different, cultures and different nationalities. It makes a big difference, makes it stronger, it makes it, unique. Yeah.
Any last insights that you would like to leave the audience with about confidence, readiness, or anything?
Well, I say confidence comes with the practice, comes with the trying. It is something that you build. It's a skill that you learn by doing, by repeating, by anything that you want to do. If you repeat the process, and if you know the process, you follow the process once, twice, until you become an expert at anything you want, anything, provided, again, you want to, from the inside, you want to. And when you want to, like some people, they say when you have to love something, and it's true. When you love what you're doing, then you're willing
to work to do a day, right?
You do it for free, because that's the joy that you do it. But people will pay for it because you are providing value.
True.
So you get the value that you provide for.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Well, thank you for your presence and for this rich conversation. It has been truly a human up.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you, Engineer Mariam. I really learned from your interaction as well.
Thank you
so much.